between 2008 and 2009, about then, this band were my favourite band of all time, undisputed, and this is my favourite album of all time. And then when this came out in 2009, this was my second favourite album of all time. Now since then, these have gone down the ranks. This isn't even in my top 100, and this is in my top 50. But Green Day are a band that I love. I have all the albums from 1039 Slap Happy Hours or whatever to 21st Century Breakdown and the last live album, Awesome as Fuck. But there is a gap in my Green Day collection, and that is Uno, Dos and Tres. Now when this was first announced, I was sceptical. A trilogy of 3 albums in the period of 6 months? That's a bit risque, and instead it turned out to be in a period of 3, well, a period of like 4 months, but it's a period of 3 months, and from Uno, Dos and Tres, and yeah, I was sceptical. And I was planning to, get this as a box set at the end of the trilogy, but now I'm a bit unsure. So yes, these albums have been released this year, and we're going to look at Uno, the first of these. So, does this album succeed in its massive ambition, or does it crash and burn? Well, so Uno, first the trilogy, and from the outset it's different from the 2 previous albums of American Idiot and 21st Century Breakdown, both of which I, like quite a bit. 21st Century Breakdown, highly underrated. Don't know why Green Day fans don't seem to like it that much. I think it's great, really. Anyway, Uno strays away from that rock opera format along with the rest of the trilogy, and each album of the trilogy has a different sound to it. And Uno's is more of a power pop, pop punk type sound to it, definitely. Which I was in 2 minds about, as I love Green Day's rock operas, but best, but at the same time I understand it just gets stale if they rehashed American Idiot for the rest of their lives. And I went into this hoping for a compromise between, Dookie and Insomniac and American Idiot. But what I found was a very different beast. It was something new. Yeah. Okay, let's get into it. So, Nuclear Family opens this album, and it has a pretty promising guitar riff. And immediately one of the things that struck me was the echo on Billy Joe's voice, which is persistent throughout the album. And I'm not really sure. I like it, to be honest. His voice is fine without echo. I don't see why it's necessary. But anyway, it's a decent song to open the album. It has a nice guitar solo. It's a fun Green Day song. It sets the tone for being a fun album. And then we get to Stay the Night. And this sounds to me like a song that would have belonged on 21st Century Breakdown, really. It just has that similar type of sound. It has a good catchy chorus, and it's not quite the power pop I was expecting. And it's a proper Green Day rock song, and I like it quite a bit. It's a really good song. In fact, and actually, I'd say it's fantastic. It's the best song on the album, definitely. It's a really, really good song, Stay the Night. I like it quite a lot. Then we get to Carpe Diem, and this starts with a fairly heavyish riff for Green Day, which I was not expecting on Uno. And, especially after hearing the single Oh Love, we'll get to that later. But, this reminded me almost of, American Idiot type stuff, which, no bad thing at all. In fact, this song is another highlight on the album. It's a really nice, catchy, yes, it does conform to a sort of mainstream rock song, but it's still really catchy, really enjoyable, and has a really good guitar solo in it, even though Billy Joe isn't exactly known for his long guitar solos, and Green Day, it's still a good one. It's definitely a really enjoyable song. Then Let Yourself Go from the outset is a fast-paced song reminiscent of earlier Green Day stuff like Dookie, and showcases more of their punk roots. Although I'd never classify Green Day as punk, I hate it when people call them a punk band. No, stuff like The Clash and The Damned are punk, not Green Day. But this song does seem to have that, aggression to it, along with a nice chorus. It's a fantastic song. I like it a lot. All you Green Day fans will know what's coming next, and I bet if anyone has watched my channel before can guess my opinion on track 5. Kill the DJ. which had been described by the band as a dance song. And when I heard that, I thought, no, it can't be. I mean, it's Green Day, you know, but no, Billy Joe doesn't lie, and he didn't lie. It's a bloody awful, uninspired dance song. Quite honestly, it makes me sick to the bottom of my stomach. And they fail in their goal to make a good dance song completely. Please, Green Day. Please, 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 I beg you, never, ever, ever do this again. Oh, and also, before I end up going on a complete rant about this song, which I'm going to try not to do. I'm going to try, hold back things, just talk about it quickly. Yeah. Billy Joe has called this a political statement. Kill the DJ. Now, if you look at the lyrics of this, calling this song a political statement is as idiotic as the President Ronald Reagan thinking that Born in the USA by Bruce Springsteen was a patriotic song, instead of a damning indictment of the Vietnam War. I mean, it's not a bloody political statement. If it is, it's the worst statement ever. Anyway, I'm going to sum this song up in one word, and that one word I've chosen very carefully, and that one word is abhorrent. Okay, so, let's move on. Fell for You is next, and it's better than the previous song by a long way. That's not saying something. I mean, it's a decent, catchy song, not particularly special, but it leaves a sweeter taste in my ears than Killing That DJ. So, Loss of Control, another early Green Day-like song, but like the previous song, it's nothing very memorable. There's very forgettable lyrics and a generic guitar riff. Nothing about this stands out. It's not a bad song, it's just not very strong. Troublemaker, however, it is a bad song. Starts off with a palm-muted riff before revealing that this is what they meant by power pop, with a clap rhythm in the background and very pop-influenced vocals. Weird way to describe, but yeah. This song has nothing good about it that I can hear. I mean, I don't hate it as much as Kill the DJ, but I really, really don't like it. It's a fairly awful song, to be honest. Okay, Angel Blue. This starts with a promising, fast-paced Green Day, typical Green Day riff. It's a step up from the previous song, and it sounds like Green Day, but it still doesn't make it good. It just feels there. There's nothing too special, but again, there's nothing to hate. It's just an average Green Day album track. Sweet 16, yeah, the song's called Sweet 16, which seems a weird subject matter for a 40-year-old man, but whatever, if that's his thing. It's clearly a particularly light-hearted song, shocker, in tone, and musically it's more of a ballad. I mean, Green Day is capable of doing some exceptional ballads, like Wake Me Up When September Ends, for example, but this is nowhere near the same league. And the echo on Billy's voice is particularly off-putting here, really annoys me. And, I mean, the lyrics for a man of that age are just weird and daft and just silly in a bad way. Musically, it feels like it was written by a 12-year-old. In fact, both musically and lyrically it does. It's not a good song, it's not a good thing, just no. Rusty James next, and for the outset reminds me of 21st Century Better Than Not the song, just, the general album, which after the last few songs feels like a breath of fresh air, even though it's not a particularly standout track and would have been forgotten on either of their two previous albums. But worryingly, it does stand out on this album. Doesn't mean it's good. Do not say I'm saying this is a good song. It's just not bad. Which at this stage of the album is the best you're really gonna get. And then, oh god, it's Oh Love. I did do a track review of this when it was released as a single, and I panned it for being bloody awful power pop, or just awful pop rock type stuff. And, you know what, do I disagree at all with my track review of it? No, I was completely right. I don't have anything necessarily against incorporating so-called pop sensibilities in, more rock type stuff. I mean, look at Flying Colour's debut album. That was a heavily pop-influenced album, but that was bloody phenomenal. Here, Oh Love comes off as generic, abysmal, uninspired crap. I just hate the song. I honestly hate it. So yeah, I found it quite hard to score for a number of reasons. Firstly, it's a mixed bag. For the first 4 songs, which are cracking, to awful tripe like Oh Love and Kill the DJ, to average forgettable songs like Angel Bloom. And secondly, I didn't, you know, I do love Green Day, and they have a special place in my heart. I don't want to pan them, but in the end, I decided I just need to be honest, completely honest, and treat this as if this was their debut album with no bias towards or against Green Day. And sadly, I'm going to have to give this album a 5 out of 10. It really is the definition of mediocre. It's perfectly average. You know, the bad songs and good songs is pretty much 4 awful songs, 4 really good songs. They cancel each other out with then just mediocre songs in the middle. It's it's a bland, average album. I would not recommend this album. But if you're a Green Day fan, yeah, do give it a listen. It's worth a listen, or maybe something like Spotify. But I wouldn't quite rush out and buy this yet. This is not exactly Dookie or American Idiot. It's just mainstream, average rock at its most mainstream and averagey, I'm afraid to say. Let's hope it can get better with DOS. So this has been the Album Man. Thanks for watching. Can't wait to subscribe, and as usual, long live rock and roll, and tune into the rest of Green Day week with DOS and Trick coming soon. In the rest of the week, basically.